Okay, we call the meeting to order. Let's take roll call.
Dukniak here.
Kathleen Richard here.
John Sagansett Jr. here.
Gary Grosvenor here. We need approval of our minutes from... Oh, gosh.
Hello.
We're in a strange room. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Somebody's got to be watching you.
Right. You guys always want these fast meetings, so now we need approval of our minutes from our February 19th.
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. I guess I forgot another part too, so I don't see anybody in the room, so we don't have any comments from citizens, and I'm not aware that we have any correspondence. Right? Okay. Then we'll go on and approve the voucher list for March.
I do have a question.
The voucher list.
Yeah. But so moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Well, can I ask my question first?
Oh,
Okay, sure.
For Invoice Cloud, for the credit card processing fees, do we absorb those in the rates, or do people pay additional fees when they charge it online? I set mine up so long ago, I don't know. So, and I might have a checking account, but just
So those fees are separate from this. This is just our
yeah,
city charge for.
I know. So
Okay.
when somebody goes online to pay their
Correct.
bill, and they want to pay with a credit card, because Invoice Cloud lets you pay with a credit card.
Invoice Cloud absorbs that fee. The city does not get that fee at all.
Okay. Well, I'm just wondering, is it in our rates, like our water rates? Is it built into the water
No.
rates?
No, because we're not collecting it, and it's not, we're
Well,
not being charged it, right?
Invoice Cloud charges you for the rates. Charges you the.
Don't they pass it?
You get
directly
charged a
on?
fee.
No.
Oh, okay.
You get
So
charged.
then, yes, I would say because it's an operational expense that we
Okay.
pass on.
So
to
it doesn't.
user.
The customer doesn't pay extra to pay with their credit card. That's all I ask. Like if a customer goes online and their bill's $100, do they get charged a $5 processing fee or something?
Yep.
Oh, they do.
They do.
Okay, so the customer is paying that.
Correct.
Okay.
The
When
overall fee for Invoice Cloud, the subscription that we pay.
no, but so only the customers that use our credit cards, or is it spread amongst all the customers?
No, it's spread amongst everybody because it's just an operational expense that the city pays, just that $105.
So that if the customer's bill is $100, they're only paying $100. They're not paying
They're paying
$103.
yes, they are. They're paying $100 plus I think it's a 3.95% processing fee.
Okay, so then they pay the
Yeah.
customer's paying for the processing fee. Okay, when a bill gets processed by Invoice Cloud, does it automatically post to their account in our billing system?
Yes.
So I would recommend we look at or consider absorbing those fees within our operating costs instead of charging the customer $3.95. Because if you're not touching that at all, it's saving us time and money by not having to touch that account at all. And you're going to get more people to do it, so you're going to have less people
Coming in.
less
Okay.
people coming in to pay their bills and less people. So we actually did a study by us, and it's like you save a ton of money if you absorb the fees. And the PSC will let you do that in your operating expenses. So that it's just less people coming in, less people. Because there's a lot of people that won't pay with a credit card or won't
So
pay.
the city would be paying
Well,
that every time
It
because they're
would get
charging.
built into your rates in your next rate case. So we're going in for a rate case. So all we'd have to do is say we want to build in the credit card transaction fees into our rates, and it's an automatic approval. And they will build it in. They'll bump up your rate. It'll cost everybody a penny more or whatever per thousand. But then you can process all your credit cards. People won't. If you have $100 bill, you're not paying $103.95. You're paying $100.
Right.
And everybody else is doing it, but it saves us time on the operating side of it, because we don't have to touch those accounts then. If we want more and more people paying it automatically, then we don't have to touch those accounts.
Right.
And there's a lot of people, like, I won't pay with a credit card if I have to pay a $4 fee.
Right.
Most people won't,
Yeah,
right?
so,
They must be getting along real well with restaurants.
I know. I know.
Well,
I
but
think
the
we need to be
question
a
is,
little
when are
careful.
we going back in for a rate?
Well, I thought we were planning to
We're-
go in for a rate case soon.
Well, I thought it was after the tower comes online.
Yeah, so when we go in for the tower, I'd recommend looking into it. You can go in at any time and ask for it, and it'll get approved, but they're gonna probably make us go in for a full rate case, so.
Right.
I think we need to be careful because, I don't think you can do credit cards that don't charge on sewer and water and charge on real estate taxes. It's bigger than just sewer
Well,
and water.
this would just be for
No,
water
yeah,
and
just
sewer
for water.
bills.
Utilities.
Because the city would charge if you pay your taxes on for a credit card. But this is just for water and sewer bills, not for everything in the city. Because it's a separate,
Yeah, we don't
you
use
get a bill every
Invoice
quarter.
Cloud for.
Yeah,
we
it's
use
a separate
different credit
quarterly
card
bill.
system.
The water bill is, water and sewer.
Okay. So real estate taxes are a completely different system
Yeah.
for the use of a card.
Isn't that fun? All these different systems.
Okay, that was it. Sorry.
Have we automatically offering ACH payments?
We
We
do.
do.
That's how I do mine. Mine are ACH. But I signed up before we had Invoice Cloud, I think.
But I think it's still a fee. Do you pay a fee for that? I think
No.
it's still a flat.
ACH, I don't think we
No,
get charged a fee.
typically.
I don't think we do.
So I thought it was $1 or $1.50.
Then I'd mail in a check. Make you process it. All right, ready to vote.
Are you done?
Sorry, I'm done.
Okay. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carried. Report on the water system.
I left a picture at your places. That was
That's nice.
the morning of March 7th. Went for probably about an hour and a quarter, hour and a half till somebody could get there. Of course, it was about 2:50 in the morning.
Oh.
It popped open, and then we had it off by a little after 4 o'clock.
Where was this at?
Off Coventry, 83rd and Coventry, just whichever.
Down from my
Yeah.
house.
Okay.
By Ben Franklin School. down there.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a cul-de-sac with a 12-inch main on it. So,
A cul-de-sac has a 12-inch main?
well, it's supposed to go into the farm field eventually.
Oh.
So, it's not typical for here to have mains spray like that.
That
but
was, yeah, like spraying like some geysers.
yeah,
That's what it looks like.
Should offer under-body washes.
How come I
Well,
didn't get
there
the
was-
picture?
Took about 3 days for the guys to get all the dirt out of the yards, and it was a lot of work.
Yeah.
That had to be basically done, a lot of hand work, because it went all the way into the backyard, so. It was,
Happens.
Well, and it was flowing fast too from the video that I
Yeah.
saw. I was like,
Wow.
so,
I can't even
12-inch
imagine.
main and you got the tower right there.
yeah.
Got a lot of water coming.
And it's about 70, 75 pounds in that neighborhood
Yep.
to begin with, so. We had that one, and
Did
then
you
I
estimate the water so it doesn't go into water loss?
Yeah, it wasn't, I mean, it looks
I know.
more than it is, but it was about 175.
1,000.
Being at the tower so
Yeah.
close, we could see exact, so.
But it was probably
But it's-
leaking quite a bit before that because typically, is that a PVC
That's ductile,
ductile?
so,
So it's probably leaking for a long time.
yeah, it's
That's probably when
so
you
hard to tell,
Yeah. Did they catch it in the M.E. Simpson report?
No,
Oh,
so that leads me to know I mean, that's the big trick to know, when do they start leaking
yeah,
and when do they surface to a break.
yeah.
I don't think we know.
Was it a corrosion hole or was it a shear?
Corrosion hole. So I guess there was probably a rock, but it was bagged. But on backfill, I mean, it was just a perfect angle right at the houses and just
Nice.
shot right out of there.
Yeah, that was great.
So, then we have one other main break, 8-inch main that 90-degree fitting blew off the end, was never secured. Luckily, that was during the morning while we were here. So we were on that pretty quick. So,
So it wasn't megalugged or it wasn't.
no, not rotted, anything.
That's a problem.
So there's
Yeah.
another 90 close to that we're debating whether to dig up and look at by a transformer.
Ooh.
It's more than meets the eye.
So it was the 8-inch. That was enough that Oak Creek called to say they
Yeah.
could.
Do we have a vac truck that we could vac down to it?
We could.
That might not be a bad idea.
So just to,
Check it.
I hate to move any ground near it.
Yeah.
And we don't have as-bills for it. So it's a fire, got put in.
When was it put in?
I don't know what year.
Which one are we
It's,
talking about?
it's the one
The 90.
by the old All Glass in the
Oh,
business
okay,
park.
yeah.
Oh,
So it went right across Oakwood next to your building, right to the river. So
hey, clean out my farm.
yeah.
That's too funny.
We'll be getting ready in April to start hydrant flushing for the spring. We'll be getting started on that and still just plugging away on meters. And, yeah, there's been plenty to stay busy with.
Any questions? Okay, let's go on. Unfinished business. Item A, Lovers Lane Water Tower and Water Main Project Update.
We thought we would have a change order for you, but that's still in the works for contract B. Contract C, which is the final piece of water main, will be starting March 31st with the tree clearing. So they plan on coming in and getting done rather quick. There's no services to put in, so they're looking at 2 to 3 weeks. And let's see, water tower maybe May, just depending on the weather breaks. If they decide to mobilize to start doing the coatings. So that's kind of where we're sitting now, so better weather.
Remind me, contract C, that hits O'Malley's Land, or O'Malley's Land is on there. I thought we were putting a service in for them.
I meant like the laterals.
Right, okay.
Yeah, that won't be time consuming for them.
Okay.
Just to put a T in a valve, so. That's all I have on that.
Will they put the logo on before it goes up?
I believe so.
Yeah.
You're all familiar with that, right?
Well, as long as you have it in the bid already, they'll do it.
Yeah, it's in the design, so.
Yeah, so they'll do it on the back.
Right, yeah, makes sense.
Okay, item B, DPW Campus Utilities.
That project by Public Works Building, the water main's all in, connected and in service, so it went fairly well, considering all the large amount of shutdown we had to do a second time, but
On a
Yeah.
snow day? Again?
well, it was better. It was a Monday, but it wasn't a snow day, and it took them longer because it wasn't snowing. Yeah, that's done, and we'll just be waiting for the landscaping, but all intents and purposes, that project's done. That's all I have for that.
Okay, item C, water main along West St. Martin's Road.
If you've been through that area, you'd see they're clipping along pretty well. When they started last week, Monday. So I would say by the depending on how well it goes tomorrow with the weather, they'll have the main line done Wednesday or Thursday. Then we can get that tested, and then they'll still have to do all the laterals yet. So probably still 2 weeks just to get that buttoned up. But yeah, they've done pretty well on that project, and
That's the new one that we're specially assessing
I
for,
will-
potentially?
yes.
And we have the public hearing tonight, correct?
Yes.
Should stay for that, that'd be great.
So yeah, that's been coming along pretty good. So that's all I have on that one.
Okay, and then item D, M.A. Simpson leak detection report.
I had, I had Sherry add the last one we did in 2016, just for reference. I thought it would just kind of show you where we were then. And then basically just, I have the full books here, but it's basically a bunch of pictures other than what I provided. We should, by their estimates, we should recoup what we spent in a year. They recommend yearly. I don't know if I'm to that point until we kind of get 2 quarters to kind of see where we're at. We'll be meter reading the end of this week, so that's kind of our first reading since we fixed everything that they identified. And there's always these things that pop up throughout the quarter where we do our best to estimate what we lost to try to reconcile it. But
How many miles of main do we have total in our system?
we have about 190 miles.
Because we did 813,000 feet. So we have 190 miles.
PSC report says we're
It's a
almost at a
million
million
feet.
feet. Yeah.
So we did 930,000 last time. I would recommend doing it every year or every other year, because until we catch up, we had more water loss this time than we had last time. We had more, our water loss keeps growing. So until we turn the corner and have less water loss, you kind of want to do it more often. How much does it cost?
This recent one was 75,000 is what covered what we did. That we did what I think we had a price picked out before we knew.
Yeah, it was about 75 grand.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if we go back and do it, if they come back and check again, does the cost reduce if they're coming back and just targeting specific areas?
PVC pipes more intensive because they want to try to do curb stops because you don't get the noise travel, which we have a lot of curb stops we need to find so we can capture more of that. And we did cover basically all the ductile iron pipe this time, so that would be our oldest pipe. But we kind of left out larger pockets, newer PVC.
Yep.
Granted, you can have leak on newer PVC, but we've gained a lot of pipe in the last 5 years. 6 years.
Right, that's what I was gonna ask you.
A lot of, just from 2019, a lot of miles. But we could go after what we didn't listen to, or if we think we're still trying to.
There are troubled areas.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna
Concentrate on the troubled
Pinpoint
areas, the older
pinpoint the
areas.
troubled areas, come back in,
Yeah.
say $25,000.
And hit those pockets in troubled areas. The water loss at 20% is not
Right.
good. That's a lot of water loss. And for us to have gone in 2016 and had, I think we were at 16%, right, in 2016? Can't remember where I saw it now, but I remember seeing it here.
It's
But
on
it was
this
like
page.
16% in 2016, and then it was over 20%, and I was like, well, that's not good. if you, from 2016 to 2024, we have increased water loss. So, in my mind, it's money well spent if we hit those pockets and make sure that until we're not having that, either 2 or 3 year return on investment, I would say we do it. That would be my thought. But, you can look at it and look at our system and see what you're thinking and hit those hot areas that you think. It's just that that water loss is high, and I'm sure the PSC is going to mention something on it.
And I think by the time budget time, we'll have two reads in, before budget time, so we definitely have time to
Right.
decide.
Okay.
I'm not opposed to picking, going after that
Well, the problem is you
problem
you had
areas.
8 years in between here, and you
Right.
lost 4 or 5%. Let's try to go the other way.
Right.
So,
So
yeah, we can definitely revisit before
Okay.
October, September. Actually,
That might be too late.
easy.
I'm just saying, we'll be presenting in
Right.
September.
So we'll have a read to end this, but we usually finalize this one November. So
Can you not go on the premise that you're gonna do a portion of it and just plan on it?
yeah, we can as time comes closer, we can pick a number, and they'll come and do what you have money for.
Oh,
Dan, were you referring to like having them come out and then look at the areas that they had determined in their report were problematic?
Well,
Know what you're thinking of, like on an annual?
Glenn's going to know the hot spots in our system and where there's where there's potential for more issues. In my mind, you budget for 25,000, and you have them hit the hot spots, and you have them hit areas of concern. Until we see that turnaround of lost water, we don't want to keep going the other way.
right.
And so,
Right.
when we're almost to 25% of our water is lost, that's not a good thing. And I'm surprised the PSC's not on even more. We've talked about this ad nauseum before.
Well,
So,
and we're going to try to do a better job this year of accounting
yes,
for flushing, or
Right.
I've been harping on the crew that anything we need to document,
right,
whether it's metered or not. We need to document.
right, right,
If you got to go flush a one-off, document.
Right.
We need that number.
right.
So
Okay.
that's
But I would budget for it, and then you have the flexibility to bring them in if you need them.
true, right?
So,
What is the average loss? Just out of curiosity, how
I think we're at 8%.
what's that?
I think we're at 8%.
No, I meant the average loss of water. When you look at other municipalities, and we're at
I think at one time Oak Creek told us they were at 5.
Yeah,
Okay.
I want to say if you're over 10, I think the
That's right.
PSC is going to be,
Yeah, Paul told
Looking
me
at-
we
Down
want to
here.
keep it between at least
yeah,
10 to 12, but
I think,
under
yeah.
that, we're at 20 right now.
which, the numbers speak for themselves.
right.
So,
When you can see it in the financials too, that
yeah, I know, I got questions about that too. Don't worry. I don't have
You're
questions
like-
about the next item though.
Okay, so at the moment, we're done with the detection leak report, leak detection report. New business? A resolution to amend 2025 annual budget for Franklin Water and Utility to carry forward unspent funds from the 2023 annual budget to provide auto equipment appropriations associated with the purchase of the utility vehicle in the amount of $59,784.50.
Do you need a motion here?
Yes.
Well, the only question that I had was, is it the 2023 we're carrying forward or 2024?
23.
Okay, so moved.
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
That's an easy one.
Item B, 2024 fourth quarter unaudited utility billing statistics.
So I put the financials in the packet. These are unaudited for fourth quarter. We are working through the audits at the moment. As you can see, the billed usage, we're roughly 4% under in gallons from what we budgeted, 4% under in total gallons, and then 3.5% under budget for total collection. Overall operating revenue versus expenditures, we're only $3,000 under operating loss. We haven't capitalized our contributions yet or fully calculated all the depreciation yet. Finance is still working on that. We have transferred the water impact fees for the coverage of the water tower project. We have spent all the bond proceeds for the water tower project. And then now we're just using the remaining water tower impact fees and cash on hand, because that project is still ongoing into 2025. And I guess we can just talk about any questions that you have. I knew you had them, so.
Well, I don't remember what we budgeted, and I was gonna go look, what did we budget for water revenue for this year? Did we budget for an increase in revenue? Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. We should be watching expenses, in my mind, just because.
I think we budgeted very minimally on an increase due to, I think, what did we say, Saputo was online now
Yeah,
in
which
25?
they've pretty much are matching what Strauss was using.
Okay,
So they're a pretty solid user.
oh, that's good.
And if Strauss can get things together, they might have another user.
So, but yeah, I think we did do
Okay.
an increase.
Okay,
And we do have some other infills, which I was gonna talk to Justin today, but, one infill that'll be, I think, a fairly good user. So, it's been an empty warehouse, but
okay.
they're, I think gonna
And then,
be helpful.
the pilot payment is gonna go up, obviously, with the water tower going on, because that's a $5 million project?
I think it's
9.
9, yeah, so that's gonna go up, so that's gonna hit us with the pilot payment. City loves us for that. That was it.
But I know we talked about the decreasing pilot payments, so maybe you and I can
Yeah.
talk later offline about.
Yeah, you'll just have to
How
look and
that-
see what the $9 million is gonna do to the pilot payment. Because it is gonna go up for that. I know it went down. Tax rate must have went down, or did we have a reassessment in the city?
We did a full revaluation.
Yeah,
this year.
sorry,
Yes,
reevaluation, yeah, that usually helps utility, so.
But, yes, looking further, maybe at 6 months, we can talk about what and how, going to the PSC for a rate case, so.
Yeah, and I talked about the water loss already, because I noticed you had it in here about talking about the
Yeah.
water loss, and I think that's where
I
we
think
should
it's just an ongoing
budget.
conversation we've been having, and I
Right.
hope that the study, or the
Right.
leak survey will,
And that's where I saw the numbers, was in this, I was looking for it in the other memos, and I was like, where did I
Oh,
see-
yep.
Where did I see those numbers? This is where I saw it in your memo. And we have geodet?
yes.
Okay. That's all I had. Because I asked the ones with Bob.
Yeah, we borrowed it was roughly $3 million for the water tower project.
On
We did
Geo.
that, yes,
Okay.
in 2023.
Okay.
And that's all that I have.
So how does the borrowing go? Have we been paying all along? When you borrow money, it's due to somebody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we pay our debt service payments.
Roughly a
in
year
fact,
early
they
or
were
something like
on-
that?
They were on this, weren't they on here? Yeah,
Yeah, we pay them in March and September.
Okay.
that's why I saw we had, we have 2 general bonds and then 2 water revenue bonds, must be.
We have one, so we have one water revenue bond, one geo bond.
Oh, it looked, just the payments, it looked like there was 2 general bonds and 2 water system bond payments. Unless that's just, is one interest and one principal?
Correct.
Is that what it is?
Yep.
Okay. Then that makes sense. I thought it was 4.
No, we have just 2. We
Got
have 2
it.
sewer and
Okay.
2 water.
Any other questions?
Nope.
Then we move for adjournment. Is there a motion to do so?
All right,
Okay, we have a motion.
Motion.
Is there a second?
To adjourn.
I'll second.
Okay, motion been made, second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye.